Old Commercial started down in Ringsend, as did all the other clubs. My brother was already here coxing, and that's how I came up a few years later, and I started cox. That's Emmett, that's my son. He's won the senior championship for Ireland in Uisce Éireann down in Cork. That's where the championships were held. I have to say the happy moments when the crew was coaching won. The place is alive. The bridge, it's wider than it's long. Once you go under it, you know, it re-echoes. You can hear the catches, you know, taking the water and finishing. Jump, 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 jump.
The River Liffey supplies 85% of Dublin's water. About 40% of the river's flow is purified and pumped to consumers' taps. The problem is, in recent years, demand is outgrowing what the river can supply.
One of the things that's a really sad and disappointing indicator of how bad things are in Dublin is that this summer they reduced the water pressure to their customers overnight to save water. That's not a developed world solution.
We have just about enough water to supply homes and businesses every single day. So it's not really a safe or a sustainable position to say to people, look, there's a 5% risk or a 10% risk that water isn't going to come out of your tap every day.
In the east of the country, there's less rainfall, and therefore the water sources naturally are less abundant or have less water in them. The amount of water we take is at the maximum we can abstract before we start impacting greatly on the natural environment.
We identified the fact that the River Shannon was ultimately the most sustainable and economic source for the Eastern and Midlands region of Ireland, and that particularly taking it from the lower point of the River Shannon, just above the hydropower plant at Arnacrusha. We know that by taking 2% of the average flow in the River Shannon, we can cater for the needs of the Midlands and Eastern region of Ireland.
It's about trying to ensure that people have a resilient supply, that they're not afraid that when they turn on the tap they're not going to have any water, and to support the growth of Dublin and the country into the next 50 years.